Hello, I'm Sarah Turner. I lead the Legal and Operational Services business group. Our 4 business units provide services for people such as victims and defendants who come into contact with the court, and we do that across the system. At different points, from arrest to disposal, you'll see our people doing their bit. We also work with external providers of services, and part of my group gathers and analyses data so we know how we're doing and we can put our efforts into the right place when we're assessing our performance. In all, we've got almost 1,000 people working across 50 sites. With the help of my leadership team, we're going to take you through a scenario to explain what each of the business units does. We'll use a domestic violence case where John has been accused of assaulting his partner, Mary. We've chosen this scenario because it shows how each of our business units plays a different but complementary role in the same case. It also shows our contribution to one of the Ministry's important focus areas, family violence. So, John's been arrested and charged with male assaults female. At the court, John will talk to a duty lawyer who will give him initial advice and help him fill out a legal aid application form. This is sent to the local legal aid grants office, and that's where Michelle's team takes over.
One of our grants officers would consider John's legal aid application by looking at his financial situation and considering the interests of justice. John is eligible for legal aid, but he may be required to pay back some of the money. The grants officer assigns him a legal aid lawyer from a computer-generated list. In this case, a public defence lawyer will represent John. PDS lawyers are managed by Madeline.
The public defence lawyer will contact John to discuss the case with him and his rights. The lawyer is employed by the Ministry but has a special duty to act independently, focusing only on what's in John's best interests. The lawyer will liaise with John and the other parties to the case. The legal process will be explained and the lawyer will give John advice about his options and the possible outcomes. John's lawyer then takes instructions as to whether John wishes to admit the charge or to deny it in court. In this case, John decides to plead guilty and he agrees to attend a restorative justice conference with Mary. At his next court appearance, John's sentencing is put off to allow him to attend that conference, and John also attends a ministry-funded non-violence program. Both of these interventions, the conference and the program, are contracted by Alison Hill's team here in the Ministry. After this, John's PDS lawyer appears at sentencing. The lawyer will have filed written submissions which cover the mitigating factors relevant to John's role in the offending and also the outcome of the restorative justice process. John's lawyer will also make oral submissions to the court, and the domestic violence program provider will provide a report on John's involvement in that program. The outcome is that John is sentenced to 200 hours community work and ordered to pay Mary $500 reparation. The lawyer will then let legal aid know the outcome of the case.
Provider and Community Services contracts a range of services to support Mary and her children and help her and John navigate their way through the system. When John is arrested and charged, the police talk to Mary about the support services available to her as a victim of crime. Victim support will get in touch with Mary and will offer to make a time to meet her. The contract between victim support and the Ministry is managed by my team, by the Victim Centre. Because Mary is a victim of domestic violence, she can get quick access to safety services to help keep her and her children safe. The contracts for domestic violence services and safety services are also managed in my team. After John pleads guilty, a restorative justice conference takes place. Mary thinks it's really important that she tells John how his violence has affected her and the children. John also attends a non-violence program. This makes him face up to his violence and helps him find ways to behave without violence in the future.
When John's case is finished, the grants officer receives information about how much the case costs from the PDS lawyer. John has a legal aid debt and our debt management group will talk to him about collecting it. John's reparation order is sent to collections, which is managed by Jacqueline.
The court then sends John a notice, which gives him 28 days to pay. We always want people to pay voluntarily and in full where possible. If John doesn't pay on time, however, he will be contacted to discuss his payment options. And, if necessary, enforcement action will be taken to collect the reparation. Enforcement can include clamping his vehicle, seizing and selling his property, taking money from John's income or bank account, issuing a warrant for his arrest, and even preventing overseas travel. When John pays the money, it is then sent to Mary.
As you can see, people in my group provide a wide range of services. We play a role in keeping people safe and making sure justice is served. At a wider level, we play an important role in upholding human rights and supporting the foundations of a safe and just society.
People choose to ignore me. They shouldn't, because I don't go away. In fact, I just come back for more. And when I do, I can make things uncomfortable for them. I can take their property. I can stop them buying. I can stop them from going overseas. I can even stop them driving. But here's the funny thing. I'm so easy to get rid of. A simple phone call, click of that mouse, and I'm gone.